From an impressive wrestling background to spectacular first-round submissions, here's why Michael Chandler will destroy Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is arguably the most famous UFC fighter to have ever graced the octagon. His rise to fame not only saw him become the biggest star of the UFC, but also one of the biggest stars in the world, period. UFC lovers have been waiting a long time to see McGregor fight again, and it appears that they won't have to wait much longer. No date has been announced yet, but UFC fighter Michael Chandler is well and truly gunning for McGregor, and the two will square off real soon. While McGregor is the more renowned fighter out of the two men, our confidence is with Chandler to absolutely crush McGregor come fight night. McGregor has not stepped foot in the octagon since July of 2021. After an intense couple of fights against TKO specialist Dustin Poirier, a bitter feud was ignited, and the two met in the ring for a third time at UFC 264. But it was this fight that changed the course of McGregor's MMA career, perhaps forever. Right at the very end of round 1, McGregor's leg seemed to break out of nowhere. It turns out the break was from a nasty kick that landed on Poirier's elbow earlier in the round, and it was just waiting to go snap. This gruesome injury thwarted McGregor's UFC career and has stopped him from fighting ever since. But now he claims to be fully recovered and ready to duke it out again, and Michael Chandler is more than ready for him. Michael "Iron" Chandler is widely regarded as one of the greatest UFC fighters to have ever lived. He is a former 3-time Bellator lightweight world champion and currently fights in the lightweight division of the UFC. Michael began his career training wrestling at Missouri's University under legendary coach Brian Smith and competed in NCAA division as an All-American wrestler. He quickly transitioned to MMA with a string of impressive performances, eventually crowning himself the Bellator lightweight champion in 2011. Just like McGregor, Chandler also suffered a loss to Dustin Poirier at UFC 281, but despite this loss, Chandler is destined to beat McGregor when they finally come face-to-face in the octagon. Chandler has been training hard since his last fight in November of 2022, and claims he is in the best shape of his life. Training videos of Chandler have been making the rounds, and he looks sharp, fast, and utterly fierce. The same can't exactly be said for McGregor over the last few years. McGregor has continued to make headlines recently after stepping away from fighting, shortly after suffering a broken leg. The Irishman has instead shifted his focus to bodybuilding and fitness. His bulked-up frame has led to rumors that he may be taking steroids. He has continued to boast his newly charged-up physique all over his social media platforms, and it has sparked conversations online and in gyms alike as to whether or not he is using performance-enhancing drugs. Despite these rumors, there is yet to be any evidence that speaks to this being the case. Either way, his impressive new physique has made him an unsure bet when it comes to defeating Chandler. When the two meet for their much-anticipated bout, McGregor will need to shift a lot of weight, and drastic weight drops like this can have huge detrimental effects on the body, and will likely take away from his fighting training. Heavier fighters can be known to move much slower and have inferior levels of cardio and stamina, something McGregor will need a lot of to fight Chandler. Having such compromised fitness will be a great disservice to McGregor. If the fight goes deep into its 5 rounds, McGregor could seriously struggle to keep up with Chandler and possibly gas himself out. Although he may look in great shape, McGregor is not the primed athlete he once was, and he's gonna need to train harder than ever before to get back to his heyday condition. McGregor and Chandler are the current coaches for the beloved TV fight show The Ultimate Fighter. And while both men are extremely focused on being the best coach they can be, it seems that Chandler is still keeping himself in perfect fighting condition, while McGregor is still walking around showing off his muscular physique. The Ultimate Fighter Season 31 will premiere on ESPN on May 30th, 2023. As with any season, the finale event will see the two coaches fight it out in the cage. Of course, there's been a lot of back and forth and trash talk, like with any fight, with both men claiming they will obliterate the other. But Chandler is adamant he will destroy and embarrass McGregor, and we totally believe him. It's fair to say both men have adequate time to get in tip-top shape. But Chandler's head start can only serve advantageously for his chances when the night arrives. Both men have incredible striking skills and competitive groundwork, but Chandler is arguably the more skilled fighter of the two. Both men are sitting at 22 wins. McGregor has 6 losses to his name, and Chandler has 8. McGregor has 19 TKOs on his record, and Chandler has 11. To many avid fight fans, this would be a clear indicator that McGregor will knock Chandler out come fight night. But Chandler's groundwork is where he really outclasses McGregor. Chandler has an impressive 7 wins by submission, completely smashing McGregor's one sole submission win. Chandler has proven time and time again that he can keep the fight standing, dishing out big shots and taking them just as well. And McGregor will have his own big shots to throw too. But the trouble will come for McGregor if Chandler gets him to the ground. And that's exactly what he's gonna try to do. While McGregor's leg is now healed, chances are his stability may not be what it used to be. And that's where Chandler can seize his opportunity and go in for a takedown. And the ground is exactly where McGregor does not want to be in this fight. Chandler will likely aim to take McGregor down as soon as the fight starts. The ground is where his performance really shines, and where McGregor's weak spots are. Being a seasoned wrestler is one thing, but Chandler is a master of submissions as well. He has finished many fights on the ground within the first round. In 2010, when fighting for the Bellator Fighting Championships, Chandler made a name for himself when he scored 2 impressive first-round submissions in less than a minute, submitting Salvador Woods with a rear naked choke at 59 seconds, and 5 months later, executed a perfect guillotine choke on Chris Page at an impressive 57 seconds into the first round. However impressive Chandler's skill set may be, it appears McGregor isn't fazed one bit. McGregor has finally started to speak up about his time away from the octagon and is getting loud and ferocious. He recently released a video of himself and another fighter sparring in Las Vegas. McGregor looks big and mean and is moving impressively. In the short clip, he presses forward hard and dominates his sparring partner before landing a huge head kick. It definitely feels like he is sending out a message to Chandler that he is ready for the bout and in full fighting spirit. But however impressive McGregor looks, Chandler looks smoother and stronger. And despite being 2 years older, his consistency and dedication to his training will have a knock-on effect when it comes to the big night. The Ultimate Fighter finale does not have a date yet set, but footage has emerged of the two fighters beefing with each other. While many will believe the feud is all for show to build hype and make good television, it feels pretty genuine. When speaking with the Mac Life, McGregor said how he's going to slice through Chandler, and Chandler hasn't had anything nice to say about McGregor either, saying, "It turns out I don't like Conor that much." Footage was also released of the two squaring off with one another while cornering a fight for the Ultimate Fighter. So whatever happens, it looks like McGregor's return to the octagon is going to be a huge battle for the history books. But our money is still with Chandler. From an impressive wrestling background to spectacular first-round submissions, this was why Michael Chandler will destroy Conor McGregor